All right, we begin in Central Texas, where a new wave of heavy rain brought more flooding. And that, of course, is stalling recovery efforts in the same area hit by the deadly storm on the 4th of July. The rain prompted water rescues and evacuation orders all weekend. And the grim search for scores of missing people has now resumed in Kerr County, and the death toll has increased to 132. CBS News reporter Karen Hua joins us from Kerrville, Texas, as part of her ongoing coverage in this part of the state. Good morning to you, Karen. Tell us how bad the weather was this weekend and how exactly it's slowing recovery efforts.
Well, good morning, Errol. I'll walk you through a timeline of what happened just yesterday. About 24 hours ago at this time, it was just raining, drizzling, similar to how it is right now. But the weather turned. It changed very, very quickly. It was about 8 a.m. local time when the rain started to come down really, really quickly and really intensely. Our crew was moving, just trying to drive a short distance at that time, and it was so difficult to see out of our windshield, and we could immediately tell that the roads we were driving were starting to flood. Inches, even the type where you drive by and it creates a huge splash. So we knew this was coming down fast. Where our setup is right now, we're at a campsite where the Guadalupe River is right behind us. And when we were set up here yesterday, we realized pretty quickly we had to get to higher ground. We had to evacuate ourselves. So of course, because we were fearing for our own safety, the search and rescue crews as well decided to suspend operations for the day, definitely out of precaution for them as well.
CBS News reporter Karen Hua is in Kerrville, Texas once again. And Karen, I think you've been there now for just over a week. Where do recovery efforts stand?
So, Errol, in the 10 days we've been here in Kerrville, we've really come to understand why they call this part of Texas Flash Flood Alley. It rains, it downpours pretty sporadically, just like it's doing right now. And yesterday was really the worst we'd seen it, the most severe, certainly, which that's what officially stopped those search and rescue efforts, those recovery efforts. On Saturday, that's the first time officials switched over from using search and rescue to recovery efforts. So as we know right now, those missions to go out and search have been halted because of this weather. In other parts of Texas, it is a lot more severe than what we're seeing right here. So that's certainly dangerous for first responders and volunteers to be going out looking. It's unclear exactly when they're going to resume because of this weather.
Yeah, and Karen, I know that you arrived after that severe flooding that took out Camp Mystic and other campgrounds, but you did experience some flash flood alerts and warnings this past weekend when that deluge took place. Was that different than what locals experienced on the 4th of July? And just help us understand how you experienced the flooding this weekend.
Yeah, so the timeline we experienced just yesterday, Sunday, it was around 8 a.m. local time. We knew it was going to rain, but the rain came down really hard, the type where you can't really see out of your windshield when you're driving, and the type where we could see on the streets around us, this water was piling up. Where we are right now, it's a campsite in the Guadalupe River. That's the river that initially flooded. It is right there. It's just a few hundred feet away. So we knew, our crew, we had to get to higher ground. We got 3 emergency alerts within 1 hour. So that was very helpful and that was very proactive. But we continue to press officials, asking them about what happened with those emergency alerts back on the 4th of July when the flooding was a lot more severe than it was yesterday. We still haven't really gotten an a direct answer about what exactly the timeline was, what exactly happened. Officials keep on saying that there will be a special legislative session later on this month with Governor Greg Abbott. Errol?
Yeah, and just jarring with more than 100 people still missing right now. Karen, we so appreciate the efforts of you and the crew there dealing with the rain, the weather, and this horrific story. Thank you very much.
We want to take you back to our top story this morning. Today's search and rescue or recovery efforts will continue in the Texas Hill Country. This is after everything was put on pause there for a flooding threat from over the weekend.
Yeah, in fact, another area of central Texas now also devastated by some flooding. Lauren Crawford joins us now in the newsroom with an update on that. Specifically, we're talking about Lampasas County and the continued work to also find folks that are still missing near the Guadalupe River. Good morning, Lauren.
Hey, good morning, Madison and Carmen. That's right. Let's start with Lampasas County. That's west of Waco and Temple in rural Texas. Now, rescue teams saved dozens of people after the Lampasas River surged from 10 feet to 33 feet within just a few hours. Now, take a look at this. Video from over the weekend show just how high that water was. As of Sunday evening, the river receded back to its normal levels. And right now, officials say everyone thankfully did make it out of the flooding alive. Now, that same elite team that worked to save lives in the aftermath of the flooding in Kerr County was there to help. Texas Task Force 1 conducted several water rescues. Now, over in Kerr County, that same storm forced search teams to pause on Sunday. The rising rivers and flash flood warnings forced search crews to temporarily stop for safety, but the mission has not changed. From the ground up, this community continues searching for the missing and is focused on rebuilding. More than 12,000 volunteers are now part of this effort, doing everything from handing out food to mucking out flooded homes.
Just got to get out there and we've got to help people, and that's just what really pushes us.
I was like, please, Lord, just don't let it rain today. Let these guys get out here and just, have a good day and help them find people and bring these families peace.
Yeah, and as you just heard there, many volunteers and search teams say that they will do whatever it takes and whatever they can, rain or shine, until the job is done. Now, with more showers in the forecast possible today, search teams are on standby and local leaders are really just urging people to stay weather aware. Madison, Carmen, back to you.
We do want to get another check of the forecast with Lauren Bostwick because it's not quite your typical July.
That is for sure, because usually in July we see some fairly dry conditions. In fact, it's one of our driest months of the year. But unfortunately, we have more rain on the way. And I say unfortunately because our grounds are saturated. So any additional precipitation is going to lead to a flooding threat. What you're looking at right here is the Weather Prediction Center excessive rainfall outlook. Here across North Texas in the green, isolated potential of flooding. But look over towards the Kerrville area as well as into the hill country in central Texas. That's a level 2 out of 4 risk for excessive rainfall, meaning scattered instances of flooding is going to be possible through the day today. In fact, I do want to go ahead and talk about how much rain we've seen in just the past 24 hours. A lot. You can see behind me anywhere shaded in green is about 1/4 of an inch, but anywhere shaded in the bright pinks, that's over an inch of rainfall. Some locations in the past 24 hours even seeing 3 inches of rain into central Texas. Those are the areas that unfortunately do not need more rainfall.